Real composer of the song and again the performer of the song, Eric Tosca says, Brasami, I was playing this Wahala Day song last Sunday and my dad heard it and he said, and Kodano Mabanon Somo So what it means is that even the old men are loving the vibes of the new episode on the Wahala Day song. Now, episode thinking about the PDS deal and how far we've come with it.
Yeah.
How does it make you feel that something you touched on really it has come out to be a fiasco?
Yeah, definitely. It's amazing. I always say this. Some of us don't just do music because we want the people to dance or we want the people to jump around and talk about the sex and the club and all them thing. You get me? Some of us do music because we feel like a decade from today, the people can actually relate to. You get what I mean? If we still listen to the likes of Bob Marley's and listen to Fela and listen to Two Tendermators and all these legends, they actually spoke about stuff that we can relate to. So as a music man, I feel like my people are suffering. That's what I put into this song. And it's amazing that even if the song wasn't the reason why this change happened, at least 1% of it, somebody heard it, and then the next person also had to hear it. So it's a blessing. We just pray that not only this one, years to come, when even we are not here or alive anymore, some of these things can actually touch the heart of the young and upcoming artists, and they can actually write similar records like this.
See, you also asked about the whereabouts of the Takrady girls,
Yeah.
and now I'm sure we can confidently say they are dead.
Yeah, which is sad. You know what I mean, Brasam, it's really sad. Imagine one of them is my sister or my cousin or somebody that I relate. You get what I mean? Because then it means that the system that we have is not strong enough to put certain measures in place. Because I feel like if we're able to be watching these detective movies and all of that, then we actually have to get schools or institutions that can actually train people to actually look for some of these things or solve issues like this before, not after, when the people are no more and then excuses are actually built to cover up all these things. You know, it's quite sad that the family would not see these people again, but yet still we shouldn't wait for the next batch to happen. And that is what I feel like I actually wanted to do with this song, not necessarily to bash whoever is responsible for these things, but actually ask questions so that we can actually help ourselves and solve some of these issues. You get what I mean?
I see. And again, if I want to recap our last interview, we talked about some political parties who might show interest in the song and might approach you for a campaign song of a sort. Has it happened?
No, not yet.
No one has approached you yet?
No. But I've heard like 2 or 3 stations use it for their political shows and all of that. Yeah, that's why, just like I said, the song is not directed, or I didn't do the song for any political party. I feel like I represent the people, and you know, reggae and dancehall, that's what we do. And it's quite sad that people haven't really studied my career. I say this every time. I did a song for Mandela like way back 2015. I did for Kofi Annan last year, you know, and recently somebody tweeted at me that my Mandela song actually helped him pass his exam. You get me? And I felt like, yo, okay, so we're actually fulfilling some of these things that we decided to do. Because it's not only about a party song, Kotona Sore and Avatar and all of those things. You get what I mean? We need to actually sit down sometimes and address these issues. You get me? Yeah, man. So it's cool. If they come on board, why not? It is my intellectual property.
But like is your team also being proactive on that? Maybe going to them for such discussions or negotiations?
We're not. The song wasn't done or it wasn't targeted to actually get money from any political party or use it as any political song. We did it for the people. But then if they want to actually use it or throw light on it for their own advantage or disadvantage, then why not? I just like somebody go take Wale's song and use it for a TV commercial. You get what I mean? Yeah, it's just like that. But the main reason of the song was just to ask questions. And I say this every time. If I had like 6 minutes to do on the song, I would have said stuff that people don't want to hear.
If you had gone 6 minutes?
Yeah. And actually, we're actually working on
part 2.
Not part 2. Actually, an album for Wahala Day. So what we're going to do is we're going to select like 4 or 5 songs, talk about issues with the same kind of topics, because I feel like there are other issues which also needs to be tackled, which I didn't get the maximum time or enough time to put into this kind of records. You get me? Yeah,
Now, oftentimes people say when you do some of these songs, because they are not commercial as an artist, you don't gain from it. In this case, is this the same story, or this particular one seems to have a different story?
It has a different story, because I must say it's not really reflecting in money, but I'm proud. Because at the end of the day, it has actually given me a different phase or different respect. Because like people have misconceptions about reggae dancehall artists, even the looks. Sometimes you can't even enter some places. But some of us look beyond that. And I'm happy that a big man can walk up to me and say, "Yo, I like your Wahala Day song and I think it's a great piece." He wouldn't say that, "Yo, see the youth here. No, man. You get what I mean?" But the fact that we as a reggae dancehall artist have been looked in a certain way for so many years, and now you have these same people being respected in the environment, like naming a street after Stonebwoy. Who thought 5 years ago that would have happened? You get what I mean? Shatawale filling the dome, headlining all the big shows, getting collaborations around the world, and reggae dancehall. You get me? So with me, as much as I'm not really getting, or it's not really a commercial kind of song for me, it's actually giving me a different look and a different respect as far as the episode brand is concerned.
All right, so we're talking to episode here on Showbiz Agenda. Now, my next question will be, you told us you were coming up with a music video for this.
Yeah.
I knew it is going to be a heavy task because the concept alone for this video, you need some few months to think about. How far with it?
Rasami, people don't know that I actually plan and most of the time execute my own videos, from the directing to building sets to sometimes editing. And I need to say this, big up Foresights for nominating my resolution video, which I personally edited and then I directed and did everything with my own camera.
Oh, I see.
You get what I mean? But I don't put my name on it.
Let me ask this. You had a video be in some Egyptian...
Yeah, Avatar.
That's Avatar.
That's
that
Avatar.
video...
Yeah,
you also did...
Yeah, I did all the paintings in
Sorry, that video is crazy.
Big up Snare. And Snare is the same person who worked on
that
Wahala
video
Day.
is crazy. Scary at the same time.
You need to watch Wahala Day, because Wahala Day, what we did with Wahala Day, we actually had to resurrect. I'm giving you like a little bit of it. We had to resurrect Nkrumah in the video to ask him the questions. And we had a look-alike which really looked like Nkrumah, which is actually going to scare people though.
So you've shot the video for Wahala Day?
It's ready. We should drop it this week. I'm sure maybe tomorrow we'll drop the teaser. And by the end of the week, we'll drop the video.
Some of the issues you raised in the song, did you capture some of the scenes in there?
Yeah, we did. But then we also had to look at the advantage and the disadvantage. And because this song is not really, I didn't really look at it from doing a song for just this year. We're looking at 10 years from today. So some of the topics we wanted to make it a little bit universal. You get what I mean? So that it really wouldn't aim to one particular party or the next party, or so some of them we took them out. The most important thing is the message that we wanted it, to carry has in the video.
I see. So for instance, where you were talking about anytime you meet police, you have to Roger. Did you capture that in the video as well? In the music video?
Yeah, we had an idea. If you pay attention to my songs and my videos, like Avatar, anybody who listened to Avatar before the video was released was going to think it was going to be that gangster kind of thing. But we took your mind off. And that's what we're doing with this video. Just like I said with the football, I know people are going to expect me to show this year's
Anas and on those days.
No, but what we did is we actually I was talking about Ghana football.
Yeah.
So we had the two jerseys, which is the old Ghana jersey and then the new Ghana jersey. And then the old one had a ball with the inscription for the pride, and then the other one had for the paper. Which explains it, but it's in an abstract way.
I see.
You get me? So you would find all that we said in the song in the video, but in a different
direction. I see. Now, do you have behind the scenes photos and videos out yet?
We have few
ones that you've published.
No, I think no. I haven't published. I only published one picture, the one with me and the girls in this red berets.
That is what
the
you
only-
published
yes.
on your platforms.
Yes.
Whilst you were shooting, did you allow other people to film with their phones and all that as well?
Yeah, sometimes some of these things you can't control. You get what I mean? Because then you're working with people who are also professionals, and then like the models who would also want to put their works out there to get bookings from other people.
Yeah.
So the best you can do is just control them, or tell them that, you know what, we're not dropping this video or we're doing it exclusive. So if you shouldn't post it this time. But some of them are stubborn though. But I have not really gone beyond checking like if somebody posted any of them, because even the one I dropped, I didn't caption it as the video or anything.
I believe you've seen a video circulation on social media.
Yeah.
And the stories most of our people wrote about it was that episode has been brutalized by police and all that. Where was I? I was about to record an interview when someone sent it to me.
Yeah.
I was with Mr. Duke Banson of Paradise Entertainment.
Yeah.
Good morning to you, Mr. Duke Banson. And he called you instantly.
Yeah.
That, episode is my boy, let me call him. He
Yeah.
called you without response. And again, other people who also sent the video to me, Brasami, please, is this true? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, we have to call episode to find out.
Yeah.
What was your case with the police?
First and foremost, let me say this though. I want to really apologize to anybody who tried reaching me, and then to say a very big thank you to anybody who sent a positive message, whether I got to see it or I didn't, or anybody who supported this thing. Okay, so let me just give you a short. I didn't really want to talk about this, but let me give a brief about what happened. So on Friday evening, we went to Tema, me and the team. We had a meeting. So coming back home, it was around 11, late around that time. And I don't really know Tema. So most of the time, we end up using the map, because then community 1 here, community 8 there, you get what I mean? So, and I was not driving by then. My manager was driving. So we actually got stopped by the police. So when they came
in
close,
Tema?
yes.
Which of the communities?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like the communities.
Yeah.
So I don't really know. And when we got stopped, they were like, they signaled they gave a signal for some time, but we didn't stop.
With their touchlights?
Yes, because we were using
around what time was that?
It was around 11 going to 12, like that time. It was a bit late. Because then I had to make it to a studio around East Legon that way. So they started questioning my manager. But most of the time, I have to be a bit reserved.
Were you like over speeding?
No.
Did you have an unregistered plate?
Yeah, we were using a DV. That's it. We were using a DV. So they asked for the necessary requirements, which they were given. But then I think it ended up they were back and front with my manager. I was sitting in the car with the other guys. And I couldn't sit and watch, because at the end of the day, he's there because of me. And he's my team, he's my blood. So definitely when I heard the shouting and all of that, I came out. And sometimes when stuff like this happened, tempers go high. It might be my fault, it might be their fault. But then because they don't want to listen to me. And then one thing that we should all know is most of the time, like our community, no disrespect to the police or any big man. When they see people in locks, they actually judge before they ask questions. That's like general, because then we don't come from Jamaica. But then you should know that as much as the person has this look, you would have to go on further to ask, who are you? Or what? But then if you're given the right answers, it ends there. There has been a time that we were driving from, I think, Accra to Volta. When we got stopped, these police guys had to check the whole car like for full 30 minutes to an hour. Later, they had to check they said I should open the bonnet. And when I did, they said they're charging me for dirty bonnet, which was quite sad. You get what I mean? So, sometimes
they were charging you for what?
Dirty bonnet.
Dirty bonnet.
Yes.
That your bonnet was dirty.
Dirty. So
the engine area, you mean?
Yes.
So they opened it.
They opened it. And that's what I'm saying. Most of the time, because they see us with this look, they end up like going beyond, because then they have to set the whole car and then they don't get anything. So what happened is it's quite sad that the video had to trend like within the next few hours, but everything was solved there. Like I actually okay, my tempers went high a bit, but I became submissive because then I also looked at the other side of it. But then I didn't know how the video really got that.
So when you came out of your car, what was your first reaction?
There was, Brass, I mean, if you're in my shoes, you would actually understand that you're working with people. And then where we actually were is not somewhere that I know, you know. And then, like, now, things, Charlie, you can't trust anybody. You get what I mean? So, in the quest of trying to find what was really happening, that's why I said my tempers also went high, because then there was a little bit of
So what did you actually do? Your tempers went high. Did you slap someone? Did you physically abuse someone?
There was no physical abuse there, but it was this back and front, like, you know. And then anybody who knows me know I'm quite cool, but then sometimes can't treat by any. So my guys had to push me a little bit. But
I hear you have anger issues.
A little bit.
Yeah.
That's why I don't really, most of the time I try to stay
to be cool.
You get me? So I had to be submissive, and being the leader of the team, that is what actually came out, because on a regular day I would have just stayed in.
So why was the submissive episode handcuffed, and he came across like he was being attacked?
So that's what I'm saying. It's not as if there was any fight or anything. Now, when I came out of the car and then I was trying to solve, that's what I'm saying, that most of my team guys are in locks and all of that. So that kind of mishandling was a bit there. And when I got into it, my heart calmed, because then I couldn't understand why we had everything checked, and then like there was a little bit of delay.
So why were you handcuffed? Because I know these days the police are even soft on DV plates.
I know it wasn't
to the best of my knowledge. I think I've used a DV plate for the past almost some 6 months.
So that's what I'm saying. We were a bit wrong too, because then I know DV plates uses 2 people. Right?
Like even these days they are soft on DV plates.
But it's not everybody. You get what I mean? It's not everybody, and that's what I'm saying. It's not really about the car or anything. It's just that tempers went high, because then it was becoming. Anytime
there is a handcuff issue with the police and the civilian, it means either someone was trying to resist arrest.
That's what I'm saying. So I personally, at a point in time, I also lost control of my temper. You get what I mean?
You were scattering things.
Not really, but then I got pissed. I really got pissed. So
to the extent that the people who got out of the car first, they were not handcuffed, but the person who came out of the car last was handcuffed.
The thing is, just like I'm saying, these people around me, or if I see somebody beating a episode fan, I can't stand and watch. You get what I mean? If somebody is even, imagine me performing, somebody's trying to push an episode fan, the person is there because of me. And these people are, as much as they're working for me, they are alive at that moment. It didn't mean my day, because then we all moved out in the name of the brand episode.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? So that made me actually come out
to react.
So you get what I mean? And that's
so are you admitting that you did something wrong by overreacting on the night?
Yeah, I'll take it from 2 angles. I would say that I did my part of it, but then sometimes I feel like the officers too sometimes need to calm down when it comes to these things. And as much as maybe tempers go high, because then I feel like I'm right, he feels he's right. You get what I mean? So that was where the whole thing didn't really go down well. So, and just like I said, this thing has actually enlightened me so much when it comes to stuff like this, because I feel like most of the people even there in the prisons right now are wrongly convicted. You get me? And then it might be just a little thing, but imagine, just imagine that as we move, then they call the next police station to say that there are some armed robbers here who are in locks using this DVD. Because there's been instances where police people plot things in cars. You get what I mean?
Yeah, we've heard that before.
You get what I mean? So I'm saying this based on 2 sides, that we pray that, or we plead with some of these officers that when they meet some of these young youths, sometimes they should go the right direction. And then we also, the ghetto youth or the people on the street, sometimes needs to cool down to solve issues rather than.
So did the case end up in any police station or something?
It actually, funny enough, it actually ended there, like 5 minutes.
They took the handcuff off you?
Yes, because later they got to know who I was. And the one of the police officer was a big episode fan. But then he didn't see the face painting. You get what I mean?
So he was confused.
Exactly. So he ended right there. But then my phone was off that time too, because then we were like moving around the whole day, and then we had to go to the studio to work at a new studio, GAN 1. So when I got home, we got home around 3-4, and we just all passed out. So I didn't really touch my phone till like the next.
You mean you slept?
Yes. So like the next, like, it wasn't really midday, but then I know Pakakra. It wasn't really. My phone was buzzed. My dad even called. My mom called from London and everything. Like, yo, this is what's happening. I was like,
so you don't have an idea of who recorded the incidents?
No.
Was it any of your team members?
No, I think it was a fan.
A fan?
It actually happened around a filling station though. So I think the person was, I don't know if the person was buying fuel and then he saw what happened. So when I even watched the video and listened to it, the episode that. So the person himself wasn't really sure. You know, at the early stages, I wanted to actually cover up and say, no, it's not me. Because the person really wasn't sure. People can look like me. But then, come to think of it, like, why don't I use this platform to also educate people and tell people that, yo, stuff like this is really happening, and then we need to be careful about these things. Imagine that when, the reason why I actually became submissive, imagine that it went to a level where they had to pull their guns and fire. By this time, I don't go sit here, they talk, what are they talk? You get me? So, yeah, it happened, but I want to really use this platform to thank everybody who has been supportive and big up the real episode fandom.
Charlie, no be episode that I see.
You be like I use that one start the Wahala Day video.
Maybe. But where did you shoot your video?
In Ashaman. It was we shot partly in Ashaman, and then there's a.
You nearly said Tema.
Yes, because then we had to shoot one at the I don't know if it's abandoned train station. The one with the red, gold, green trains, the one that are being worked on. It's more of like a warehouse.
So on the day the incidents happened, were you coming from Ashaman during the video day?
No. We had shot the video like days before. We shot the video like 2 weeks ago. Yeah, we shot the video like 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
So is there likely to be a coincidence of a similar picture?
No.
Costume.
I know people are saying that. I saw some of the comments. It's a video shoot. No. You would not see any trace, because what we did, I can even show you pictures of the video. What we did with the video, the costuming was, everything was. But
you had the police.
No.
You don't have any police scene in the video.
You would not see any police in the video.
Oh, okay.
And I know that, I don't know if it actually worked good for me, because before we were planning this video, we were thinking of adding all these things. And I was telling my team that it was going to be normal to have all these things in the video, like where Nkrumah said, "Beloved country." On a regular day, you would have a regular video, Ghanaian video. You would have episode 6, where there'll be, then you see Nkrumah's documentaries and all of that. You get what I mean? But then it's so different. So there's nothing similar, or I wouldn't really say people should take their mind off that whatever happened is just to hype this song. No. Whatever happened is not to hype this song. And that is why I use this platform to educate people this Saturday at the Fantasy Dome. So my performance this Saturday was actually inspired by what happened. You get what I mean? So if you watch, and it's sad that people are not really talking about this performance, because I think I was the best performer for the night, apart from Shatawale. But people are not talking about it because of Fantana and
I'm not sure. You know me. I'm not sure.
But what I'm saying is, the motive behind some of some of these acts are based on real issues. I actually had to come on stage just like a prisoner.
Yeah.
With chains.
In fact, a foreign prisoner.
Exactly. A prisoner with chains, and then with later I had a T-shirt, "Free the Youth." You get one? Because I feel like there are worse situations happening, but because the people are not celebrities and they are not in the media, people don't know about it. You get me? So nobody should think it was just a thing to.
So what was the freedom you were fighting for? Because in your case, you admit partly that you were also wrong.
That's what I'm saying. That
what freedom were you fighting for?
People are going through worse situations. You get what I mean? I have a friend who is in Sama right now for 48 years. Yes, he's been jailed 48 years. He was in remand for 9 years.
And he's your friend?
Yes.
How old are you?
I'm late 20s. Late 20s. But what I'm saying is, he's not there for 40. He has been jailed for 48 years.
Oh, okay. You
get me?
Okay.
But he was in remand for 8 years, 8 to 9 years before he got convicted. And the main reason why he got convicted still has not been solved. You get what I mean? And this is somebody who comes from like a rich home, but because of the people he moved around with, he got convicted, and he's there now. Revi, big up yourself. You get me? And worse situations are happening. I have a friend who went to he went to jail for like close to a year because somebody, his ex-girlfriend said her picture got leaked, and because they have issues, she feels is the guy. But because of some of us visiting him every time, they got to know that this particular person is not really a bad guy, which actually helped solve this issue. You get me? So I think this should help me embark on some of these things, that we can actually go and hear these stories and put it out there so that anybody who can help, or if there's any solution. I read in the news or watched a video recently that a child was convicted, and I think they thought he was 18.
Yeah.
You know, it's sad. So imagine that episode. But then go talk. Different story go come. They go talk. Like just you said, smoking weed. I have never smoked weed in my life, and I can bet it on my.
I alleged.
You alleged because I'm a reggae dancehall artist. You see me, Brasami. Anybody who knows me, you see my lips pink, and I know say most of the guys who smoke don't have this kind of lips.
Those who have the pink lips, they use it for something else.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. So it's not smoking.
So you do that one?
No. You get me?
You
get me? So like people, I even read somewhere that somebody say, oh, episode and in team, then go steal something. Somebody said this, somebody said that. You know, and it was quite funny. But then I also thought I didn't want to grant any interview until me and the team decided that okay, so it's high time we use this platform.
In fact, we chased you. I think I'll own up and say that even initially you said you were not even coming to the studio. Exactly. Let me confirm that. You know, you said you were not coming to the studio, but of course we have a relationship. If there is one platform that has promoted your Wahala Day song, is this platform?
And I think it's credible. This platform is credible enough to send the message across. So yeah, that's why I actually had to come. You get me? So nobody should sit somewhere and say, okay, so it's just a public. Even Bryce, I mean, it's sad.
Did you know why people are not talking about your performance? Yes, we saw a video of you being arrested and brutalized by the police. It was still not clear what happened to you to any of us. Yeah. We never heard from you whether you were still in police cells or not. All we saw was an episode on a stage with chains and foreign prison costume. Yes, you had a good performance, but we still did not understand what is happening to this guy. What kind of freedom is he fighting for?
I know.
That is why we are not saying anything.
So the reason why I actually spoke about the freedom is just like what I've said. Most of these guys are going through hard times. You get me? It might be even mental freedom. You get me? And I feel like as a reggae dancehall artist, this is one of the priorities that has to be put in place as an artist to tackle some of these issues. So me coming on stage, I know people might think that, oh, okay, so it was a whole setup for. I didn't bring police on stage, and then I don't think Ghana police will allow you to wear a uniform like that. If I was, what actually happened, I was not even taken to cells. That issue was solved the same day. But you know, I get emotional about my kind of work. You get me? So ask my team. I was locked up in the studio the whole week, the whole weekend. The only thing I was telling them is, tell my guy to sew this costume for me. This is the idea I have. Get me this, get me that. And even when I got to the venue, I didn't want to do any interview till I go on stage. You get me? So thank you for giving me this platform to actually share all that I have.
Wahala Day. The only thing is that Danlate thinks that is the late 20s you talked about. Is it your music age or your real age?
No, my real age. They want to know my real age. I'm 29.
29. Yeah. Okay. Dan, good morning. Episode is not telling lies.
I'm 29.
Because he actually wrote that Kwe episode can lie.
Oh, I'm 29.
And he added Kwe. Anytime a gun man says Kwe.
But, Brasami, do you know Chief Charles is my uncle?
Chief Charles is your uncle?
Yeah. You know?
No, I didn't know.
Oh. He's one of the people who saw me when I used to bath outside.
I believe this can also be written into or developed into a press release. No,
I thought it was.
No, we can develop it into a press release.
Oh yeah.
Because now you've explained the arrest.
No, but it could say make them just watch the video. You know,
which video? The one you're about to release?
Better than record.
This video.
Yeah.
No, it's still the press release.
Because I feel say some of the people and they don't really get time to read. They only see the captions.
So they should watch the video.
Exactly. That one will explain them more.
All right. So the video will be ready later today. So I'm sure we will spread it well so that they understand. So those who were affected emotionally and all that.
I know. My mom is one of them. My whole family. I just want to say sorry. At the point in time, I also got affected, so that's why I actually had to put my phone off because the calls were too much, and I actually had to go into my zone of creating because that's the kind of artist.
Arnold, are you convinced? Episode story.
It's like this morning, you're only asking me convincing questions.
Yeah.
I'm convinced.
You are convinced?
Yes, I'm convinced.
Why are you convinced?
Because if he did something wrong, he wouldn't be sitting here. He would have been put behind, maybe counterback at least.
Oh, since like some 2 weeks.
But he says it didn't go there. They ended everything there, there and then. It's one of those things. The police pull you over. They have their own agenda. You judge all with them. At the end of the day,
for the past month, you've been driving a DV car. Have you been stopped by police?
No, I haven't been stopped. Well, I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, I'm a gentleman. When they see me,
he doesn't have locks.
They see me honorable. You know, and I look bossu in it.
Yeah, you look bossu in it. In the Jeep Cherokee.
The Jeep Chief Charles. So I'm convinced, and I think the education he's put across is very key.
But me, I'm not convinced. I think it is still a fabricated story. Yeah.
You could only hear from the horse's own mouth, and once he's
he's spoken. He's written his press statement, but
you still feel.
Yeah.
So how will you answer yourself? Who will you talk to?
I'll talk to Karim.
Okay.
Karim was not even there.
But he knows the story.
Yeah, so they should take it easy. I mean, on civilians. Sometimes the locks guys, they
especially
are going through
superstars,
a lot. Superstars.
Yeah.
You know, and the locks guys, Charlie, they go through a lot. One guy came to me, Jimmy Brown.
Yeah.
He says when they caught him, they cut his locks before they started questioning him. And you take a whole lot of years to gather your locks on your head for very Rastafarian reasons. Some reasons are it's tied to their hearts. Some of the guys with locks, they have very reasonable, in
fact, they worship the locks.
And they've kept it for years. And then you suspect him of having a group of weed.
Therefore, you cut them.
Then you just cut the locks like it's painful. It's painful. I don't know why they cut the locks. I don't know what the locks do to them. If it's the weed, take the weed.
No, they think the locks is the inspiration for the weed. So when they cut it, you don't get inspiration to smoke.
So when they delock you,
when they unlock you. Okay. So Arnold Maisel Levania is convinced of the episode story. Ben K, how about you? Are you also convinced with the story? The arrest story from episode?
Not really, but let me first of all congratulate him on the song. Very powerful song, and it's a good song that will go a long way serving the youth that are coming as well. But with your case, with the permission from chairman, I want to ask you a question. You keep mentioning, I got pissed off. Charlie, the temper was high. But I want to ask, what did the police personnel or policemen said to you that got your temper? hi.
Okay,
And
so
what did you say in return or in answering what they said?
So when I got off of the car, they were saying that they are talking to my guy, so I should move back.
Okay.
You get what I mean? And I couldn't also move back, so go back. So at the point I was like, fuck off. Excuse me to say, use that language. I couldn't say it on radio because we're on radio, and that was what really got them also.
So that was
pissed.
what caused your handcuffing.
Exactly. You get me? So, but later I had to explain to them that I am actually the leader of the thing. So if you're asking them, it's best that we are together to hear everybody's side, and that's what we do.
So Chairman, moving forward, I think my little advice to my colleagues artists that so there's this pride kakra in every artist. I mean, sometimes when you are known and you get to certain point, Charlie, you don't know say Namibi episode, you don't know say Namibi this. Why they talk to me like Namibi this, that kind of.
I made that.
Namibi that.
Fantana. I made that.
So let's sometimes deal with this thing. It happens to everybody. Sometimes you need to let them know, Charlie.
Okay.
Me this. Moving forward, let's know how to communicate with the police, and then the police officers to at least, if not anything at all, the moment we recognize the person, let's approach them, in a nice way.
In fact, it shouldn't. If you are giving this advice, then I would also add that it shouldn't only be known people.
Everybody.
Elsewhere, if we look at the activities of the police.
Yeah.
The way they will arrest you,
it's
in fact, you clap for them.
It's crazy.
Yes, you thank them. Oh, thank you for arresting me.
As if you have a problem with
because
them.
the first question is, are you okay? Even though you are at fault.
Oh, you're talking about the international
yes.
police.
So we should do it to everybody.
Okay.
Even I think even when you are a celebrity, they handle you differently than the ordinary person because they know that when they allow you, you get to influence other people.
Yeah. So moving forward, let's take a look at that. And that finally, what I want to say also is that take note, DV, in as much as they are not being serious with it, the moment it passes. They have the right to kind of ask you one or two questions, especially with insurance, because the insurance sometimes some cover about 3 people, some covers 2, depending on the kind of insurance. So let's take note of that and then make sure. But I like the fact that you were able to solve the problem there and there.
Committee, take the mic. The uncle won't talk. Yeah, the uncle. We know what the uncle will say. In fact, we can predict what the uncle will say. So let's cut the uncle short and give his time to the callers. So guys, get ready. After Kobiche, we'll be doing more phone calls 0500-000-385 and 0266-660-735. Yes, Mr. Che.
Yes, so let me talk about the song Holiday. I think that is a masterpiece. I mean, once in a while we need musicians who can really voice out and address issues like this. But as in say, but we should have a lot of musicians addressing issues like topics, issues that are really people don't really have that time to come out. I think through music you can send that message across. But lastly, this should be the last time you are telling a police officer to fuck off. Sorry for my words. It's a disrespect to your brand. Never. And this goes to anyone out there. I think that sometimes because we think that some police officers are not doing their work well, we tend to disrespect them and use certain words for them. So let's be mindful about how you address issue. Next time I'll plead with the management team that don't allow episode to come out knowing he has anger issues. Protect him. Because a bias is an episode as some near Kanyamo. I can peacefully be, but he's a public figure. So next time protect his image. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Uncle. Advise your cousin and let him not do that again. Tell him to go and commit no crime again.
I detest the lame attempt to instill a certain characterization on my person and my family members.
Uncle, look.
I have witnessed occasions where Sammy Flex got very angry and almost broke a bottle.
Hey, you didn't lie.
I have witnessed occasion where Arnold Mensah Alavagnon gets very angry and uses certain very foul language. And I think it is one that we should rather shelve and be private about, rather than attempt lamely at characterizing people's
you are telling lies.
personages. Episode is my beloved son. Whoever said me, I'm even shocked he's 29. I thought he was younger, because I saw him when he was drinking his mother's to where he is today. But the thing is, you see, even when you listen to the Nkrumah Where You Dey song, apart from the aesthetics of the song, it is also an accentuation of a certain seated anger with the system. A seated anger with the system, the injustices, the things that government puts people through. So basically what I'm saying is that when the system frustrates you and you are a freedom fighter, you are an artist, and largely he channels his anger and his frustration through his songs. Episode is one person who sings on a lot of social vices and a lot of social issues. This one is not an exception. It seems that it is the rule. So yes, to vent every now and then as citizens is allowed. I think the situation with the police was an unfortunate one. It's one that can happen to anybody. Let us not paint the picture that the police act on whims and caprice, that they have the right to act outside of the law. It doesn't matter one's temper. The police must act professionally. It is not your attitude towards them that would determine whether they act gently with you, decorous with you, or they maltreat you. The law is the law. When you apply the law, and that's why they say the law is no respecter of persons. Look, I have some friends recently who recounted, their ordeal with the police. They also drove, he was driving a DV car around 10 p.m. He was stopped by a police patrol team. They threatened to fire and kill them and report that they are armed robbers. And they had to pay 600 Ghana cedis. They had to cough that amount to the police before the police let them go. This was a threat. The guy said, they said it to them, that who is going to tell your story for you? All we just have to do say is that you are armed robbers. We suspected you and you weren't stopping or something. So these things, as much as he has admitted that he felt that he was a bit too much, that is why we are civilians and you are the police. You are trained. Elsewhere, even when the police sees that you have panicked, they try to set you at ease before they deal with you. You are a trained policeman with a weapon. A civilian carrying nothing. Even if you suspect they are carrying something or they are onto something untoward, you are empowered more than them. You can overpower the person at ease. So I encourage and beseech the police to treat us civilians, not because you are a star or anything, but you are there to protect the civilians.
Thank you so much. And now, after listening to the story, the best thing we can do is to subscribe to Episode's channel and wait for the video. Episode, what's the name of your channel so that we can wait for it?
Episode Music.
Episode Music. The spelling once again is
EPIX, not SXODE. MUSIC. EPIXODEMUSIC.
Okay. So latest tomorrow. By weekend.
I'm sure we're gonna drop the teaser by tomorrow. And then we'll drop the video itself by weekend.
Alright guys, so be among the first people to see this video. What you have to do is to subscribe to the channel right now, Episode Music on YouTube, and get to see the video. Now, a friend here sent me this message and he says, "Good morning, Sammy. The episode arrest is true. I was with a friend Johnny at University of Ghana when he told me he had to move to the police because episode had a problem with the police." And already the journalists have started writing. Kobe News Live. It is sad. Episode finally explains his encounter with the police in Tema.
Where the money go,
Let me say thanks to all my guys this morning, those I worked with. Thanks to Chief Charles, Ben K, Arnold Mason, Levanyo, Kobe Che, and also to Episode for joining us in the studio. God bless all of you. And I believe that the rest of the team, they are also grateful for your time, for your calls. And I want to say good morning to Ni Ashley, Mr. Massive, Anthony Sapon, Facebook Data, Isaac Edugin Kweku, DJ Sticker, Prince Ousu, Georgina Dubrimpon, as well as Jerry, my technicians, Bawari Safe, Expert Link Communication Boss, DJ Q, Emmanuel Frimpon Boachin, and Frimpon Sarkwadi, David say, and also to IT, that is Emmanuel Techi. Guys, great guys, God bless you so much. I have just one name, my name is Sammy Flex, and we are still reading Adele's memory verse, Exodus 14:14. Exodus 14:14. Enope, what is the name of your first song? Payola song. It's not Payola. Are you sure? So what's the name of the song? Don't Give Up. Who sang it? Who? Rehaina.